So today I want to talk to you about the importance of real-time financial data. And this is relevant to you, your business or even your personal finances. It's so important we have the clarity of where we are financially. So if that's relevant to you, keep on watching, keep on listening. Welcome back to consecutive day 1796 of a diary of a Runpreneur. And today's topic, I want to talk about the importance of real-time financial data. So whether it's a business that you operate, that you need to see the financial metrics, or whether it's your personal finances. If you don't have real-time financial data, you don't know where you are, you don't know how much money you've got, how much you've got for a rainy day, and the questions you could ask go on and on and on. But before we get into this topic, please don't forget that this vlog is part of a fundraiser of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style. And the more people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. So back to the topic at hand. So today's all about the importance of real-time financial data. And as always, there's usually a reason why I talk about these topics. It's in line with my kind of diary of my life, if you like. And one of my business is operations director at the moment. We're working with clients and building these systems and processes ourselves, which is, it's a done for you kind of business operating system really, to drive efficiencies throughout the business, focusing primarily on, you know, systems and processes, people and management of people, and also real-time data dashboards. And it's basically gearing your business up to be an independent entity as opposed to you physically running it. And I've always believed that it's built on three foundational pillars, which in no particular order, they're all as important as one another: systems and processes, people and data. If you've got robust systems in place for all three of those, then your business will stand on its own 2 feet, which is really, really important, because I meet so many business owners who are in the thick of it, doing everything in the operational day-to-day side of the business, and the business is actually themselves, rather than they're actually self-employed, rather than being a business owner. But anyway, the topic at hand today is all about the importance of real-time financial data. And this is what I've kind of been building at the moment, and it's absolutely game-changing. So most people have some kind of financial software like Xero, QuickBooks or something that their accountant predominantly uses, but they probably find it pretty non-user friendly, so to speak. And when you're trying to find some simple data, it's just a real painful process. So what I did a while back is I integrated my kind of operating system, which is database relationship management software, Airtable, with my bank feeds directly through a piece of software called Fintable. And ultimately that pulls in transactions in real time. And then I took this a step further, where, you know, in order to get accurate information, you have to obviously reconcile the payments, and you have to have a chart of accounts to create your P&Ls, your cash flow forecasts, balance sheets, etc. And so I've basically built all of that within Airtable, and then I've optimized it with automations and AI, so that every single transaction that comes in is automatically reconciled. And it's a machine learning system as well, so it learns the more data that comes into the system, the more accurate the reconciliation process becomes. And it's unbelievable really when you get into it, because I've got real-time P&Ls. I can look at P&L on a daily basis if I want to, weekly, monthly. I usually look at last month and month to date. I then look at my kind of rolling P&L for the last 12 months on a monthly basis as well. And I have a cash flow forecast that I'm looking at 2 weeks in advance, which links to my real-time cash balances with what's due out and what's due in, and it gives me a real clarity on kind of what I'm looking at. So if anything goes wrong, I think 2 weeks is a suggested. You can do it for as long as you want, but 2 weeks you can generally be pretty accurate, and 2 weeks is usually enough time to kind of, if you need to put contingencies in place, you've got enough time to do them, which is absolutely key. I've also got a buy-to-let portfolio, and I've got a lot of tenants and rental units and properties and tenancies and all these things that need to be kind of managed accordingly. This is all through the system as well. So it actually reconciles the rental payments, creates rental statements against tenants, tenancies, against rental units, against properties. All of everything is kind of linked in there. It's all kind of the organization of data and kind of optimized with automation and AI. But these are things that you need to have your fingers on the pulse if you're going to run successful businesses in these kind of spheres. But any business has its financials. Any person has their financials. So just getting those into play. I mean, I've just gone off on tangent by talking about the kind of property management setup we've got, but it's all linked because you're reconciling rents, you're looking at maintenance costs, and you're looking at, you know, your council tax bills, mortgage payments, all that type of stuff. So you can do real-time P&L against each property if I like, each rental unit if I like, each tenant if I like. I can do all of this kind of delve down because of the way the data is structured, and it's all kept on top of automatically, which is just, I mean, the amount of hours that I save from this system is probably thousands of hours a year. That's probably the reality. I hope I'm not over-egging it or under-egging it there, but I would guesstimate that's the basis, because previously this was something that I've been monitoring it with. So yeah, thousands of hours over the year. When you factor in whether it's my hours or the team's hours who are working on the financial side of all of my businesses, it's probably a true reflection, genuinely is, which is, you think of the hourly rate you pay people or what hourly rate you're worth, you look at the return on investment from having something like this in place, it is monumental. And it's taken, you know, best part, it's taken probably 2 years to kind of get it to the stage where it's at today, with the kind of automation side of it, the AI integrations and everything. But the data it can kick out now, you know, any metric within reason that's asked, I can kind of create within a very short space of time. I can build it into whatever kind of dashboard that I need it to be built into. And it can really turn yourself around from being kind of completely overwhelmed, spinning plates, not knowing which plate's going to drop next, to being have complete clarity and being able to move to a management by numbers protocol. And that's been huge for me. When I can see data, accurate data that I know is accurate. And the other problem I've had in the past is when I've had people doing these reports for me, is I've always spotted errors and inaccuracies, and even accountants, what they provide you is inaccurate. And then as soon as you've lost that trust in the accuracy of what's being put in front of you, it just ruins your trust in the data, and it gives you this anxiety about the information you've got. But when it's automated and you've set up robust rules and you've developed it over time, and you're confident in the accuracy of the data, it's just absolutely game changing. And that's how I run all of the business I run, is I have to have the data to be able to do that. And that's always been massively important to me. I've been a little bit guilty in the past of having too much data, and you can do that very easily. But, you know, I think the financial side of any business, you need those three statements: your income statement or your P&L, your balance sheet, and your cash flow forecast. If you don't have those three things, you're running blind, and that's the reality. And then you can kind of tweak it to kind of do income statements by different kind of categories, like properties, if that's the industry, or you can do customer analysis or supplier analysis. But it all starts from having the basics reconciled in the right way. And that's kind of what I've built as part of the operations director service that I provide. And yeah, so ultimately, learnings from my diary today are that if I was going to ask you a question about your financial data, and it would take you longer than a few minutes to find, then you haven't got the right dashboards and reports in place. There should be very little somebody can ask about you financially that you can't produce or see relatively almost immediately. And that's kind of the level you need to be at in terms of dashboards, financial real-time data. And if you're not there yet, you need to get there quick, because believe you me, 90% of businesses fail. And one of the main reasons for this is that people lose sight of their cash flow position. They run out of cash, business fails. So you've got to protect that. And the easiest way to protect it is to be able to see where you are now against where you're going to be in the future, against how you've performed against past periods as well. And you get a good kind of visualization of where you are financially. And then it gives you like easy ways to kind of build up cash flow reserves, you know, in terms of your core capital that you need to have in your reserves to maintain your stability. You need to be looking at net profit levels that you need to be at to be a scalable and successful business. You need to know about what you can afford to pay staff, when, your salary caps. You need to have that information at hand, and they're all formulas. You need to look at your labour productivity rates to see, are you getting the best return on the money you're spending on your labour? Really, really important metrics. And if you don't have these for your business, believe you me, it's just a matter of time before stuff starts going wrong. So get them in place sooner rather than later is the name of the game. But anyway, that's it for me today. Hope you found it useful. Any questions or comments, drop me a line. I'll respond to everyone. Any relevant comments. I do remember though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style, do give this a subscribe, share, like and comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy. I'll see you again tomorrow.